My dream? To become Formula One world champion. My everyday goal? Staying focused, staying calm. Watch the road unfolding in slow motion. Never close my eyes. Take risks. Always keep control. And attack. Attack whenever I can. When the final line has passed, never regret. My destination, the future.
We are here in Salzburg, the soccer stadium, the Red Bull one, during a media day, photo shooting. Many journalists from Salzburg, from Austria, that knows very well Red Bull as well. The young generation for Formula One. So we are all here, all four juniors, the two young, Daniel and Carlos, and as well Daniel. So yeah, we're doing photo shooting, all of us, then just media things for Red Bull.
It's easy going. It's, you know, there's four of us drivers here, and there's, you know, not too many people around, so it's quite a relaxed environment, you know.
We really enjoy the drivers coming here, and they have some huge, you know, places like this Red Bull Arena, the hockey. I don't know, we always have really good time here.
I think they have to learn at an early age how to deal with the media, how to deal with the pressure that it comes with. And it's a matter of being able to focus within the circus of motor racing. And that's what it is. It's like a circus. There's many things going on. And within that, they still have to focus. And that's what we try and help them with. So even from an early age, they have the media attention from the newspaper, the TV and whatnot. So it's good for them to practice. And the top guys will succeed through that.
For sure, it's a little bit too much sometimes, but I think we have to deal with this. And if one day that everything stops, that means everything will have stopped for me. So I'm happy about this.
You know, with a bit more experience, I've understood what, you know, where, yeah, if there are areas to be cautious, when to be cautious, and know what to say, when to say it, if there is something, you know, fixed that I need to be aware of in the interview.
That's what I try to do. I just try to be myself in front of the cameras, in front of the journalists, and that's the best way to show the people how the driver is.
Danny!
This is something, of course, you must learn, and you always learn from mistakes. So I made them when I was quite young, so nothing too big anyway. So that's much better to do mistakes when you are young than when you are adult and when your car is quite big as well.
Yeah, they are always telling me that if I progress, there will be more and more cameras, more and more photo shooting. So you have to be mentally prepared for that. So I think it's another challenge of motorsport, and I think you get it. When the years pass, you just get used to it.
It's difficult for me to smile a little bit when I give interviews. I don't know why, but yeah, I could say that I enjoy it a little bit.
Sometimes the media doesn't understand how young they are. You know, they are asking too much too early. They're young guys and they're here to learn and do the mistakes and things, and the media often doesn't understand that. That's sometimes a little bit pity.
The pressure from the racing, the pressure from the media, the pressure from the team, the pressure from yourself, that takes a lot of energy. And then you throw jet lag onto it. Like I said, then you throw different cultures and different foods, and Formula One is very difficult for the energy level over the year.
To make Formula One, it's obviously the first thing is undoubted driver talent, which you develop from a young age, and I think you can see that within some people within the younger age groups who consistently win championships, and obviously Daniel has shown that he can do that, and his driving talent is undoubted, and he's also proved that at the highest level at Formula One with his qualifying times and his displays in the F1 test driver sessions at the end of end of 2010. Daniel's obviously a very, very talented young driver, but this year his schedule is very, very hectic. So he's got his Formula One Toro Rosso duties on the Friday of the Formula One weekends, obviously, and he's also got the Formula Renault 3.5 weekends. So the biggest challenge for us this year is to try and maximise his energy levels and to try and continually improve his fitness as well. Basically a combination of three trainings that we work off: speed, endurance and strength. Within your speed training we do a lot of things like reaction decision making and hand-eye coordination drills. Strength training is working on specific muscles in the gym that they will use within the race training that we analyse very, very closely. And the endurance is making sure they work within the heart rate so they will experience during the car, and also trying to mimic the durations they get as well in the car. When the warm-ups before the actual race with the hand-eye coordination, we try and get that going as appropriately as possible. So the idea is that if Daniel can actually catch the ball with a short reaction time, as we get shorter and shorter and shorter, by the time he gets into the car, that decision-making ability is where it should be, and it also helps to focus him.
He needs just a little bit more time and experience, and I think you'll see that as he's testing in Formula One. The more he's in a Formula One car, the better he'll get. And the thing is as like I said, he's already adapted very well from a Formula One car to a Formula Renault car, Renault 3.5 litre. And I think that's what helps drivers jumping in and out, to be able to change their style of driving and the way they need to drive in and out a car.
I had a bit of experience in pre-season jumping from one to the other, and I think, you know, I'm going to be acclimatised quite well, and you know, come Friday when I'm in the World Series car at Spa, a circuit I know quite well, you know, should be into it more or less by the first lap, and then get the business done, you know, winning both races. So that's basically what we want to achieve by the end of the weekend, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to make that happen, and hopefully let it continue throughout the year.
Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps. It's round 2 of the World Series by Renault. A busy weekend starts right here with qualifying, and much is expected of Daniel Ricciardo on his return to the series.
Spa is a great circuit. I think all the drivers really enjoy it. It's a very long circuit as well. It's, you know, more than 7 kilometres long. It's always been you know, one of my favourite circuits, and you know, I think also with the backdrop, you know, in the forests and everything, it makes it quite special, and there's a lot of history here. I think I mean, there's always a bit of pressure, and I wouldn't say it's higher. I think for me, I'm just going out there even more hungry and sort of with a bit more fight in me to. I think you know, Spa is my place to prove that, and that's where it's all going to start for me.
Some good times early in this qualifying session, but it's a mixed picture, and it seems Daniel Ricciardo has tagged a wall. This is not the comeback he was looking for. We've been red flagged here. Pressure heaped on Ricciardo's team just when they least needed it. On this, his return to the World Series.
I hit the wall going backwards and I couldn't see how much damage there was, but I hit it quite hard, the wall, but I actually hit square and it was on the crash box. I couldn't continue, but you know, the team's just going through some checks now and just making sure everything's aligned. Like I said, for the race today, I'm excited and I'm just hanging out to get out there and wait for the lights to turn off and get onto it.
You know, if you're not good in your head, so mentally, physically, then you cannot do something good in the car. So first of all, you have to be healthy, and everything must be good mentally as well to have a good weekend. Otherwise,
he's a very different character, Daniel Ricciardo. They've got very, very different personalities. Same time, but their common denominator is they're both fiercely competitive.
I didn't see what happened with Daniel. I just saw him reverse. I didn't know he touched the wall. To me, I had a little bit of Sunday, but was better after. That kind of things happen. I guess he had exactly the same thing last year, but at least he got a lap before. Yeah. Qualifying, I get a bit of problem having my steering wheel not straight in the straight line, but like this. Decent lap time, good enough to be P3. That was a shame because we had a good car and pole position would have been possible. But World 3 is not too bad anyway.
Time to take up grid positions and a last chance for words of wisdom ahead of the opening race this weekend. Jean-Eric Vergne, he leads off row 2, sitting directly behind poleman Rob Wickens. The returning Daniel Ricciardo is on row 3, counting his blessings after problems in qualifying. It's a flyby, Wickens from pole. Pantiatigi switches behind Vergne, who looks solid, but under pressure from Costa, who's been caught out, has he? Tremendous start by Vergne, who's on the brakes as Costa fights back.
For the race, I had a good start. I was second in the first lap. Then I was all the way behind Robert, and it wasn't really possible to pass him. Every time I was getting behind him in the end of Sector 1, Sector 2 was a disaster because I was losing the downforce, I had no grip. So in the end, I just came back quite really quickly, but once again the same story. Once I get behind him in the end of the Sector 1, Sector 2 was again a disaster, even more because my tires were a little bit destroyed.
I went backwards and had a difficult race. Not what we were planning. We discovered a few problems yesterday evening after free practice, and then there wasn't enough time then to really fix it before the race. It's always frustrating when you're going backwards in a race. You know, with the problem we had, it sort of deteriorated as the race went on, and it got worse. So, you know, saw in my mirrors the guys were catching me, and even for the guys that passed me, I couldn't put much of a fight up.
It's a Carlin 1-2. Wickens takes the flag. Vergne second with 18 championship points. Disappointment for Ricciardo, who finishes 10th.
Finishing P2 is good as well, and the championship is long, so scoring points, it's really important, and we have a good car, so I'm confident as well for tomorrow. Just need to have a good qualifying. The race will be as well really important, but qualifying will be the key, definitely.
With the engineer, with Peter, and looking over the data, and yeah, he's showing me what they found, you know, with the problem, and he's saying, yeah, this is why this did that because of this, and it's basically a lot of line graphs. But once you know what correlates to what, then it's quite easy to understand. So yeah, we're just looking over that and also sorting out some gear ratios for tomorrow.
Every time I go into a car, I feel that the car is mine, you know. I feel really comfortable in it. We always have a good setup for every type of track. I'm feeling great inside there, you know, it's the best feeling.
The 2 litre boys being called forward. It bodes well for the Red Bull Juniors. Carlos Sainz and Daniel Kvyat, second and third on the grid behind the pole sitter Robin Freins. And away they go, Freins with pace as Sainz gets passed by Kvyat, who rockets off the line.
Well, the weekend went quite good for me. We had a good qualifying and a good race, short race, but a good race. I had a bad start. I was P3 and then I had to more or less catch up, and just when I had opened a gap, they put safety car in, so I was, I don't like that, because then it's really easy to overtake me. It's make it difficult in two ways, you know, because there are 47 drivers you have to battle with to beat them, and there are 47 drivers that can cause an accident. So at the end you have to be aware that everything can happen, a red flag, a safety car, yellow flag, so you have to be fully concentrated on everything.
A little bit disappointing because, well, the start was good and I was running second, but then one driver hit me in my rear wheel and I was going careful. Then lost a little bit of positions because of that. Then the red flag came in when I was catching them back. So that's it.
My dad never tells me, like, you must do this corner like this, get it like this, brake here, jump the curb. And he just says to me, okay, you must have this attitude to racing. If you want to be a good driver, you have to be really professional, really focus on your job, and you have to be just a good attitude to your sport.
Llegaba al limitador y toda la recta. Entonces no sé. Es que depende de la carrera que quiera hacer. Si me quiero escapar, es muy difícil.
He's very focused and very reserved, maybe for outsider. I was thinking also that way in the first few tests we did with him. He's a very nice guy, very clever guy, but you need to know him a little bit because, okay, he carries a lot of weight on his shoulders because of the family name, and it's not that easy to cope with that kind of pressure when you're 16.
Second race for the young 2-litre men. It's a Red Bull lockout of the front row. Both drivers just as determined as each other here.
Well, it was a difficult start. I knew that if I come out of a rush in P1, then at Lecom I will have quite a big deal with some guys, and that was all. I finished the first lap third. Nothing I could do, actually. You know, with the toe here, you feel it a lot.
Oh, great commitment!
Well, it's an amazing race because I won it and I had a good start and I could overtake Carlos on the straight after the rush. It was a very good move. I was using my brain all the weekend. I was very concentrated, and now I know the way for the victory. So, well, that's it.
Well, we come out of Spa with more leadership in the championship, so for the moment we've done 7 races, 7 podiums, 4 wins, I think. I know that it's going to be really difficult, but we just need to keep pushing.
The goal is now who is first in the championship, in this case is Carlos, and my goal is to beat him, and I will do everything to do it.
At the end we have a good relationship, you know, but then when you're out there on track, you have to be thinking only on you and on your wells, and it's a normal thing, you know, you can't do nothing about that.
Daniel sometimes a little bit more aggressive, which is very good in racing. Maybe he's sacrificing a little bit in qualifying. But you know, all the drivers have good qualities and bad, not so good qualities, maybe not bad, but they are different types. But we have seen that both ways can lead to wins, which has happened so far. So I believe let's put it this way, I'm very confident that they have a great future.
Each individual driver has got their own preferences before a warm-up, and Jean-Eric, we went through exactly what he wanted to do before qualifying and for the race yesterday.
I think he feels very comfortable in the car, seems to have settled in quite nicely. He's worked with us before, so he knows how we work. He's driven the car before, so he knows all the controls and everything. So he seems very settled.
Well, it doesn't get better than pole if you want to avoid trouble here at Spa, and that's exactly where Jean-Eric Vergne sits alongside Daniel Zampieri on the front row. Ricciardo's trials go on. He leads off row 4 in the heat here in Belgium. Thumbs up, time to go racing. flag man happy. How long will they hold them? Hardly at all as Vern launches beautifully. Wickens follows on, vaults into second place. Ricciardo towards the wall as he charges past 2 cars into 5th. How did he find space there? Well into the pit window now. Race leader Wickens has already been in, so the pressure is on the boys at Carlin to match that pit work. Oh, and it's not the quickest we've seen. Wickens will hold the lead as Vern exits the pits.
I had a good start, so starting first, I was able to put away a little bit at the beginning, but then I had maybe not such a good pit stop, and my teammate had a really good one, so I exited just behind him, 1.5 seconds behind, and I was quite angry, and I said, okay, let's push on now. I had nothing to lose.
Sometimes hunting is better than being hunted. A superb push through Eau Rouge into Radiant. Vern's had the slipstream, used the toe brilliantly. This is for the brave. They go side by side down towards Lecombe. Only one can have the line here. Who's it going to be? It's Vern! Big lock-up from Wickens. What about that?
I was able to come back really quickly on him, and then he did a little mistake in the last chicane and passed him on the outside. So that was a pretty tough moment, pretty tough breaks. But I was able to come in the lead and then pull away again and win the race. That was pretty good. Now I'm back of second position in the championship behind my teammate. So this has been a really good weekend, and I'm really happy about this.
It's I mean, mixed emotions. You know, I try not to get too down on myself. It is my first race back in a while. We got to look into a bit of stuff from the weekend, because we feel we're down a little bit. You know, particularly on power, and we really need to get our head down and find the problem and then address the problem. Otherwise, we're making life a bit difficult for ourselves.
The engine wasn't quite noticeable on circuits that have got more corners in and straight lines. Here, you can only run so much wing, you can only run a certain rider, it's all engine. So our strategy is that I want to win all the races. I'm disappointed we didn't win both races today, and I think realistically, if we had a few lucky breaks, we could have done.
I know John O'Reilly, he had a strong weekend with 2 podiums, so it's a bit frustrating as well, because he was very, very strong, with the first and second place. So it's, mixed emotions. I know we can be there, and it's just one of those things that as a driver you've got to try and overcome a few hurdles along the season, and unfortunately it started off with a hurdle, but we'll hopefully it's the last hurdle.
No, it's okay. My start was good, but I was too far back.
Where did you end up in the first corner?
5.
5? Out to position, that's quite good.
And you you stayed first on the start?
No, yeah, I stayed first in the start, then I lost my position in the pit lane. It was pretty hard to come back, and I passed him on the outside, but really on the verge. Nearly touching, he was locking the wheels. I broke so late.
In Lecombe?
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks.
Good, Gemma.